Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the 99. We have a huge episode today. I don't know how we're going to get through everything, so I will just jump right into it early. I'm your host, Daniel. I'm here with Lotus today. Zach feeling a little,
Hello.
Zach feeling a little unwell, so we will all wish that he gets better soon. And yeah, everyone, if you chat with Zach, let him know that you hope he's feeling okay. Zach, talk to you soon. Now I will just jump back into it quickly with my formalities out of the way. Lotus, how was your week?
It's been exciting. The new spoilers, I've got my juices flowing and I've brewed so many new decks in the space of a week.
It's been a pretty awesome set. The more I saw it, first off, I was let down with D&D. Like I was really not happy with the D&D set. I'm a huge D&D fan. I feel they really butchered it. It was very underpowered. I just wasn't a large fan of anything associated with the D&D set. That being said, this set totally made up for it.
I love the D&D set, but then I'm not heavily into the lore as you.
Yeah, like
But
that's the card
this
wise.
set,
It wasn't even that they were weak. It's that I just felt they didn't do the characters a good job. Back to you.
yeah. So the last D&D set, I built two decks. I got excited by the mechanics, and I was really excited by the flavor of being at D&D. But this set, I am stoked. Yeah, I am super excited. As soon as I saw a legendary, I was brewing it. I wasn't waiting for other cards to come out. It was straight on it.
Well, yeah, there's just been so many good ones. John and I are going to be doing some lore ones based on Innistrad because the Innistrad story it's huge. And when I was just reading up on it today to do like some pre-show for it, oh, the story is just phenomenal. There's so many good characters. A character who was only in flavor text got a new legendary card, which is
Olivar.
awesome. Huh?
Tovola?
No, Rem
Rem.
Carolus. Yeah, we'll get to Rem Carolus. Don't you worry. But let's.
Because the lore on Tolvar and Arwen's quite sad as well.
I I will have to go over that today. Maybe you can join us on one of the lore ones. Yeah, let's jump right into it and stuff. First off, there's three versions of Arlen. Every one of them is an amazing artwork. I am just blown away by how much I like all of these artworks of Arlen.
Yeah, I do like the showcase frame of all the werewolves, though. Kind of Halloweeny looking. It just feels so good.
Right? So it's Arlen the Pax Hope. It's 2, 1 red, 1 green, 4 loyalty planeswalker. It has Daybound and Nightbound, and there's going to be a lot of cards that have it, so I'll just read the Daybound mechanic. If a player casts no spells during their turn, it becomes night the next turn. And then Nightbound is if a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day the next turn. So a really cool flip mechanic of day and night. There's a lot of cards in the set that really matter with it. Back to Arlen. Arlen's +1, she starts at 4. Till your next turn, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash, and each creature you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. That's an awesome +1. And then its
Yeah.
-3 is create 2 green wolves, which I think is also a phenomenal ability.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the Nightbound side.
The Nightbound side hurts me because I faced it in pre-release. So it's got +2 add red green, an amazing ramp ability. But its 0 is what's really powerful. Until end of turn, Arlen the Mute Moon's Fury becomes a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste.
Yeah, that's rough to deal with, especially in like a limited format.
Yeah, it was so rough.
Yeah, Arlen is awesome. I'll let you. There's a whole cycle of these. I'll let you start it off with the Bloodthirsty one.
The Bloodthirsty Adversary. So this is a 1 and a red for a vampire 2/2 with haste. And then it's got a lot of text. When the Bloodthirsty Adversary enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 and a red, any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on Bloodthirsty Adversary, then exile up to that many target instants and or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard and copy them. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost.
That's a wordy card. There's a lot.
But it's so powerful.
It's a great card. It's a great card like in EDH. It's a great card in like a limited format, but in EDH especially, like in any Spellslinger kind of deck, that's an
Yeah.
awesome card.
just recast so many cards and make it hella big.
Yeah. The next one is actually the card that made me the most excited for this set. It's Oozmagoyf. It's Consuming Blob, the Tarmogoyf Ooze. Oozmagoyf is its name, by the way. So 3 green
I
green
like that.
for an ooze. It has star and star +1 as power toughness. Consuming Blob's power is equal to the number of card types in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. Beginning of your end step, create a green ooze token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among. So it just keeps making itself. It does not copy the make ability. It's not like one that splits off and then will make 4 the next turn. It only still will make the 1, but an amazing card nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't make a copy of Excluding Blob, because that's just overpowered beyond belief. But I like where they went with this.
Personally, I'm not glad. I wish they did, but I understand why they didn't.
Yeah.
The next one is also another really interesting card I wanted to chat about, and it's Enduring Angel. It's 2 triple white.
Won me so much of my pre-release.
Oh, you pulled one of these?
I pulled one in my pre-release, and this is nuts.
Yeah, so it's a 3/3 for 5 mana with flying double strike. You have hexproof. Those stats alone are nuts. That's crazy amounts of stats stapled onto a card. If your life total will be reduced to 0 or less, instead transform Enduring Angel and your life total becomes 3. Then if it didn't transform this way, you lose the game. And then it has flying, you have hexproof. Its power and toughness are equal to your life total. When it attacks, double your life total.
Yeah.
What an interesting card. Like a double your life total on attack. Way to avoid death in like a state-based action. Unless, of course, like infect or commander damage you'll still die to.
Yeah, there is 2 things that I'd like to mention with this card for commander players. Firstly, is trying to give this lifelink will be insane.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing, there's a lovely card from Jumpstart called Celestial Mantle.
That's an older card.
Oh, well, the only one I've seen it on is Jumpstart, but whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life total.
Well, yeah, so as soon as you have it, your life total becomes 3, you swing, it doubles to 6, then if you hit, it'll double to 12. Then it'll double to 12. Yeah. It's it's double strike. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, with the Celestial Mantle, you're gaining crazy life. That'd be a very fun combo to do. What
it's
a cool card.
Powerful card.
Each equal to your life total. Yeah, that's a strong one. We also have Hostile.
I like this card.
I actually didn't pull one of these. I opened a lot of this set already. I was very excited for a few cards in it. I just want to jump in right like before I get farther in. I love the legendaries in this set. I just love them. I think they were all well designed. There's so much for commander players, for existing tribes, for new and exciting things like that. From like a lore standpoint, there's really cool stuff. There's just great cards in this set. This set was very, very well designed. It's very fun to play. Even opening it, and I hate doing like, I don't like draft formats. I don't like sealed formats. Even I was looking at it and I was like, all right, this looks kind of fun to play.
It is.
Yeah.
I did the pre-release last night and it was so fun.
Yeah. I just like to play Commander, but like I could possibly be convinced. There is an uncommon I want to talk about, either an uncommon or a common as well at the end. We usually don't have time to get through all of them, but we'll do our best to get there. But yeah, anyways, back to Hostile. It's a land. It taps for a colorless. 1, tap it, sack a creature, put a soul counter on it. Then if there's 3 or more soul counters on it, remove those counters, transform it, untap it, activate only as a sorcery. And you can go ahead, Lotus.
So on the other side, it's Creeping In. It's a 3/7 horror construct. Whenever Creeping In attacks, you may exile a creature card from your opponent's graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with Creeping In. And then for 4 generic, it phases out.
What a phenomenal self-protection.
It is, and it only gets bigger if it's not dealt with.
Yeah. Oh, also as well, this is a color like a black identity, right?
Yeah, the little circle next to artifact creature on the back side shows you what color identity the card is.
Yeah, if there's no mana cost in one, then it is the black one.
Yeah.
Is this a day bound? It's not a day bound, night bound. It just has a day and night side.
Yeah, it just says pay one sack a creature and then transform it.
Any land as well that lets you sacrifice creatures is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
got a place in so many decks.
Phyrexian Tower, High Market, they're all really played.
Yeah. Diamond Valley or whatever that one is.
Yeah.
This one is, I'll let you take this next one, but I was really, really excited for this one. I really like it.
The Intrepid Adversary,
Mm-hmm.
1 and a white, human scout, 3/1 with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a white any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 more times, put that many Valor counters on it. Creatures you control get +1/+1 for each Valor counter on Intrepid Adversary. So it includes itself, and because it's a counter, you can proliferate or anything along those lines.
Yeah, the Valor counters. But what an awesome card for a huge. There's a creature in here that I was the most excited for. I started brewing it the same excitement level as I was for Wolfguard, just because I saw such a high ceiling for the card. And we'll be doing a deck on that one. I'll get to it when we get to it. But this is a card that just has to slot in that deck. And I am in the middle of cracking packs until I get one. Yeah, I will.
Buy singles.
Yeah, this is never. Wait a week for singles. Buy pre-release. Yeah, it's only a few $100s more expensive. We have the next one is Jaren Corrupted Bishop. 2 and a black for a human cleric, and there's so many decks that like clerics right now. When it enters the battlefield, or another non-token human you control dies, you lose a life and create a white creature token. White 1/1 creature token. 2 target target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you can pay 6. If you do, you can transform Jaren into Ormondal the Corruptor, which is a 6/6 flying trample lifelink with sack a creature, draw a card.
And the sketched version is phenomenal.
Both of them, I just really like them. I really, really like the fact that the normal card is just like the flip perspective of Jaren looking at or like Ormondal looking at Jaren, and then Jaren looking at Ormondal. I love the perspective on it.
You know, I didn't realize that till now.
Oh yeah, flipping it looks just awesome.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I really, really like that when I first saw it. I think it's very well illustrated as well. It's a great card.
Mm.
Both versions look awesome.
So the next one, Liar Disciple of the Drowned, is really interesting. 3 blue for a 3/4 legendary human wizard. Spells can't be countered. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost.
That's a very good card.
With a really cool rules interaction, if you have a card with flashback in the graveyard, it has 2 flashback costs. So use whichever one's cheaper.
Oh, so yeah, it's card. So if you had something that has flashback, but its flashback is 3 higher, but it also has flashback of like 1, you can choose your alternate cost.
Yeah, you choose if you want to do Liar's ability or the card's ability.
Generally, I assume people are going to go with Liars. Yep.
Potentially, yes.
That's, I think, a very cool card. I'm excited to see the kind of decks that come out with that one. It's like the anti-control Magic deck.
Yeah, but I can see it being used as a control deck.
Somehow, I'm sure someone will be a degenerate. We have Lord of the Forsaken as well. 4 double black for a 6/6 demon. Flying trample, 1 black, sack another creature, target player mills 3 cards. So some mono black mill, which is interesting. And then pay 1 life, add a colorless, spend it only to cast a spell from your graveyard.
Okay, so it could be self-mill or mill someone else.
Actually, a very good card in Muldrotha, which is still a really popular commander. There's another one in here too. This set, as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, this is like the most Muldrotha card I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's which one are you thinking?
I can't remember the name. I'll have to see it when I see it.
I'm sure you know one is the one green one. We'll get there.
Oh yes. Yeah, I know what one it is now. I can't remember its name.
Moonveil Regent, also another awesome dragon. A 4/4 dragon with flying is always good in every dragon deck. Whenever you cast a spell, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each of that spell's colors, which is really, really good for any multicolor deck like a Spell Slinger. And then when it dies, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. So this is like a really, really good card to slot into a Dragon style deck, you know?
Yeah, I'm with the amount of dragons out there, I'm not sure it has a home, but some people might utilize it better than others.
Well, if you think about it, let's say that we only have like one dragon in hand. We cast Dragon. We throw our one card out, draw 5 dragons, and then with the Dragon trigger, we'll get to put like we have a huge draw engine. I think that there's a really big home for it in multicolor style decks.
I'll have to see it before I get convinced. I'm still not sure on it.
That's fair. I'll let you read the next one. I don't know how I feel about this next one.
Pocket Stitcher. 2 and a blue human wizard 2/3. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more creature tokens, you may transform Pocket Stitcher. Creature tokens you control lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform Puppet Factory. So the reason this card is good is because you're making loads of 2/2 zombie creatures with Decayed.
Yeah, they lose their Decayed. I just don't know how I
become...
personally feel about it. Like, I understand it's good, but I don't like the fact that it turns into an artifact. I think makes it a lot easier to remove. I don't know. I think it's a really cool card, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn it back at the beginning of your upkeep.
That's fair.
So you're not stuck with it.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. It does seem pretty good. I got a lot of these Primal Adversary. It seems the most common one to pull.
Yeah.
It's 2 and a green, 4/3 wolf with trample. When it enters the battlefield, you can pay 1 and a green any number of times. When you pay it 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on Primal Adversary. Then up to that many target lands you control become 3/3 wolf creatures with haste that are still lands.
And one of the most recent new artists I love as well, Isel Gort, does fantastic artwork.
The card does look wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll let you read this next one too. Speaking of wonderful artworks, the sketch version, phenomenal.
Oh, Sigarda, Champion of Light, yeah. 1 green, white. For a 4/4 flying trample angel, legendary. Humans you control get +1/+1. Coven. Whenever Sigarda attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. I thought Coven was a very uninteresting mechanic, but it is a little difficult to get to go off, but you get some rewards for doing it.
So I actually felt the opposite. I was like, this seems very fun. Like I really, it just made me want to manage my counters and my creatures a little bit better and run things that put specific counters on specific creatures. I was actually really, really excited for the Coven mechanic. I was very underwhelmed by this, though. If it put the human creature into play, this would be a phenomenal commander option. I think it's a little lackluster with it only bringing it to hand. It's still a good option, I guess, but I think that had it put the creature into play, it would have been a phenomenal commander that many people would be excited for.
One thing that confuses me is why has Sigarda suddenly lost hexproof?
Sigarda doesn't need hexproof right now. Champion of Light. Speaking of Sigarda, we have Sigardian Savior. 3 double white for a 3/3 angel with flying. When it enters, if you cast it, return up to 2 target creatures with mana value, not CMC. Apparently, it's a big thing. With mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is actually really, really good in the human themed deck, which is like what the Sigarda stuff is about. Sigarda's always been like the pro-human angel.
Yeah.
A lot of cool things to get back. Ooh, I do have to talk about the next one too, because I think this is the best card printed in the set. I
Go
think
for it.
I think that the ceiling on this card is just out of this world. Spectral Adversary, 1 and a blue for a spirit, a 2/1 flash flying. Those are phenomenal stats. A 2/1 flash flying at 2 mana would have been a great card already. Then it has, when it enters the battlefield, you can pay 1 and a blue any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on Spectral Adversary, then up to that many other target artifacts, creatures, and or enchantments phase out. This is the best blue removal spell they've ever printed that isn't Cyclonic Rift, and I hate Cyclonic Rift. I think it's a garbage card. But this kind of solves your problem of needing to get around someone's annoying enchantments. Phasing out is so much stronger than like a destroy or... Oh, it's such a good card, Lotus.
It is.
I saw so many people be like, nah, it's not that good. It's okay. I was like, nope, this is nuts.
It's really good, really powerful. You got something that you can't destroy because it's indestructible. Phase it out, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. My Avacyn or something. It's a very, very good.
And do it to someone's commander. It's not left the command zone. It's not left any zone.
Yeah, I know. It's the phasing is. I'm actually excited to see more of it. I think it's a really, really good new thing we have to threat assess around, right?
Yeah. This is why Oubliette is so powerful, because you just go, your commander's not there anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Oubliette was kind of the start of them bringing it back so much, and phasing was, for a long time, a really confusing mechanic. I see a lot of people still a little confused on it. Like, your permanents don't leave, they just don't exist until the next turn. So tokens stay, counter stay. I also really, the reason I think these are so good is they're ETB triggers. So when it enters, you can pay that any number of times. A Panharmonicon's not going to double it up because it just gives you the option to pay it twice instead. That being said, if you put counters on it, when you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many counters on it, then up to that many target enchantments phase out, they balance this card really well. Doubling season effects aren't going to give you more permanent like phases and stuff. I think that they did a really good job with this, but I also love the fact that if you can flicker them, you can keep doing it.
Yeah.
I really, really like that. So like in a control style deck, like a Rune deck or anything that is gonna blink your creatures in and out, like a Brago, a Chulane, anything like that, this is just a great card overall. And like I said, it's a powerful card. It's not I was gonna say not broken. It's kind of broken. You can phase out pretty much any enchantment and stuff. It's a problem card. But they did really, really work around, like, if they had made it so like a doubling season, this would be like the strongest card of the year.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if it was anything that doubles the counters? I like have a doubling season out and a Primal Vigor out, and I just like pay it 5 times and exile 20 permanents or something.
Yeah, and if you turn your lands into artifacts and
yeah, it's a cool card.
Start phasing them out as well.
Yeah, I had a lot of discussions about this card. It's one of the cards I'll probably do buyouts for a while of like all the local stores here.
You monster.
Yeah, I really like this card. I have a lot of decks. I'll let you. I got to take this one too, Lotus. I'm sorry. I love the Phoenixes. Sunstreak Phoenix, 2 double red, flying Phoenix, 4/2. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you can pay 1 in a red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Love the mechanic. Love the Phoenixes.
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah. I also like that day becoming night just is a game-wide mechanic once it starts.
Yeah, once it's in.
Oh, and there's so many cards that I need to talk about with the day and night. I'll let you take the next 2, Lotus.
Okay, so Tainted Adversary is 1 and a black for a 2/3 zombie with Death Touch. Already pretty good. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 and a black any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on Tainted Adversary, then create twice that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed.
Amazing card.
Yeah, it's going to help you in the late game, the early game. It's a 2/3 with Death Touch. You're never going to be sad to see this.
And again, the same thing with the other adversary. A 2/3 with Death Touch for 2 mana is an amazing stat on the card.
Yeah.
Like that
Not
is just
many people want to block that.
no, exactly. And in other formats, you're gonna swing in with that. But even in ours, like that's a very early threat to someone's commander who needs to get out fast and start swinging. This is a great card. I they really gave the zombie travel stuff some love. I haven't been through the commander decks yet. They're not out till next
No.
week, and I have just been very busy, so I haven't looked through all that stuff. But I do know that one of them is a zombie one, so I'm very excited to like rip apart an old zombie deck I'm not really playing and just make that one very aggressive.
The only thing that I was told, because I haven't looked at it myself, is the zombie deck actually comes with a rooftop storm,
Yeah, Zombnitions.
which is phenomenal to get it in a deck.
I I annoy so many stores by just asking for cards the way that I play the cards. Like I ask for things like Hero of Cathold. I ask for Land Harmonicon. I kept asking for Uzmagoyf, and they're like, I don't know what that is.
This is why you struggle getting cards.
Yeah, I send lists that have stupid names on them, and no one knows what I'm talking about. But Zombnitions is what I call Rooftop Storm.
The next card does surprise me being in Innistrad.
Too much. It does so much.
Yeah, Teferi who slows the sunset. 2 white blue for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. +1. Choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanents you control. Tap the chosen permanents you don't control. You gain 2 life. So you can tap 3 things of other people's or untap 3 things of yours.
This goes
Or
infinite
mixed.
very easy.
Yeah.
It's
Mine is
do you know how it goes infinite?
you flicker it or something.
No, you need a creature that like taps for land, so something like you know the new creature that will tap for each color enchantment you control?
Faebara Elder or something like
It's
that.
exactly a Fabro Elder with this on the field taps for 3. Then you have a Lotus Field as your land, Chain Veil as your artifact. You +1, untap it all, tap Chain Veil so that you can use the ability again. +1, yeah, it's another infinite Teferi. You love to see it.
Yeah, we love to see it.
I know that no one's play group would do that. Wink, wink. But it's as soon as this card got spoiled, I was like, well, I need some more Chain Veils.
I need 1.
I've pulled a lot of this card actually. I was surprised at how many I pulled. I pulled 4.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 in 2 set boosters already, and then I still have a few more that I have to open. But
Wow,
4 and 2 boosters, yeah, to place it. I should start playing limited.
You should.
No, never.
-2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
Great.
You can't complain about that because you get to choose any of them.
Yeah, great card.
And then -7, you get an emblem with untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and draw a card during each opponent's draw step. So not only do you get Seedball Muse, but you also draw a card in their turn as well.
Yeah, so my for lots of people ask me all the time, what's my favorite deck? My favorite deck is a deck that I worked really hard on to build that's really stupid, and it's about skipping my own turns. The whole point of the deck is for me to just not take turns because I think it's funny. So this, when I can untap on everyone else's turn and draw on everyone else's turn, is like the card. It's the piece that makes that deck just infinitely better. All of my tutors are going to be for this Teferi so that I can get that emblem off, and just it'll be our turn, but I will never get to my turn. Oh man, I love that deck. And as soon as I saw this, I was so excited. I have to play that deck on stream at some point.
Well, you won't be. It'll be never your turn.
Yeah, I will join you on stream while you guys play that deck.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair. You can read the next one as well too here.
This one's really popular. The Meat Hook Massacre.
That accent.
X black. Sorry, that's what you get for working with English people. A legendary enchantment. When the Meat Hook Massacre enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X/-X till end of turn. When a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. When a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain a life.
I think that this is a wicked finisher.
It's a great board wipe, and then it has two static abilities if the game continues.
Yeah, if you can't close the game out. But as everyone knows, I like to just be an idiot with tokens and make as many as I can. And I'm just picturing this immediately in my Slime for the Stowaway deck, where I pay 1 for X and kill all my Saproleans. Everyone doubles up the life loss. Ah, love it.
Yeah, this is disgusting on that. This would probably go in any aristocrats deck now.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah, whenever a creature you controls dies. It's also really, really good defense against an aristocrat style deck. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain a life. Is awesome. So, like, go ahead with your shenanigans. I'll just keep gaining life.
Yeah. You're never sad to see it.
Yeah. This card, didn't see a single one of them yet.
I've only seen one all weekend, and I didn't pull it.
What a great card. I wish. I'm going to have to buy. Every time I saw Ren in 6, I was like, meh, I'll buy it later. I'll buy it later. And then later just never came because I don't want it for what its price is.
Yeah, she's really expensive.
Yeah, I don't know what Ren is. Ren is interesting. We'll call Ren that. But yeah,
it was if you do want to know, it was canon. I don't even know the word. Canonologically, it was confirmed that Ren is actually a woman.
Ren is a woman. That tree folk looking thick.
Yeah, I mean the trees are depending on what one she inhabits.
Fair. So yeah, you can read Ren in 7. What a great card, by the way.
3 green for a 5 loyalty planeswalker with 4 abilities. +1, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. 0, put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. -3, create a green tree folk creature token with reach and, in brackets, this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. And -8, return all permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size.
Not a single ability on this is bad.
No, protects itself on a -3 as soon as you play it.
Yeah, making a Multani.
Yeah. Digging for more lands. You can't be sad with this.
Well, and for me, there's so many times like the downfall of every land deck is what? You can't put your lands into play.
But, this just puts all of them in.
But so again, I here's my ideas. Here's a look into my brain and why I'm a bad person. I bought a lot of Storm Cauldrons recently so that I can play Ren in 7 and make everyone pick their lands back up, and then I can pay 0 and keep putting my lands back down.
You're a monster.
Yeah, so it's a really, really cool card. This is good in so many style decks, like an Arkelos where things coming in tapped don't matter. Amazing 0 ability. Landfall decks like Tatiova, or what's the new commander one? Do you know what I'm talking about? Something serpent. I don't know. It's a snake. It's blue-green. You guys get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of those cards where you can pay 0, put 4 lands in, and you have 4 draw triggers out. It's an awesome ability on that. The looking for lands is an awesome ability. I would say this would be great in a Golos deck, but we can't. Yeah, there's a rant coming, by the way. Everyone who listens to this, there's a rant coming.
Though it would go well in a 4-color Omnath deck, or any Omnath deck, to be honest.
You're not wrong about that. It would go very well in an Omnath deck. But still, regardless, I'll get back to my rant there. So, first off, there's amazing humans in this set. Love all of them. Adeline, Resplendent, Cathar is 1. So, it's 1 white for a star 4 human knight. Power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. That is a really, really cool ability.
Yeah, and if you're playing human tribal and bump them a lot.
Well, exactly. You get the point of it, Lotus. Exactly. That 1/1 human is really like an 8/8, and you just swing Adeline at the weakest the weakest player in your game. Adeline becomes 4 stronger on attack.
Yeah.
In Commander, of course. But who plays anything else? Come on.
Well,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is an attack. The next card as well, Lotus, that is Rem.
what, on the Angel Fire?
Yeah, Angel Fire Ignition, that character is Rem.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can read it, yeah.
1 red white for a sorcery. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains vigilance, trample, lifelink, indestructible, and haste until end of turn. Ooh. And flashback for 2 red and white. That is insane for 3 mana.
It's a great card, yeah. Like, that is very, very big.
So +2 with vigilance, trample, lifelink, indestructible, and haste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good card. The Boros stuff in this set, love it. You absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, and flashback as well. Can't be sad.
Oh, the next card is as well. Strict Upgrade. It's just a better version of a pre-existing card. It's amazing. It's 1 double green, Augur of Autumn. 1 double green for a human druid 2/3. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. Game knowledge is amazing. You may play lands from the top of your library. Also amazing.
Courser of Crewfix?
Yep, exactly. So it's already Courser of Crewfix as is. Then Coven, as long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creatures from the top of your library.
And now it's the other one. This is 2 cards rolled into 1.
Yeah, like Vizier of the Menagerie.
That's it.
Yeah. A very, very good card. Like, that's another one people really should pick up because, again, anything that lets you get your lands out like that, people care about. Fixing your land base in Commander is important, and just being able to look and see what's coming up is even better because that game knowledge can be the difference of, well, do I play, like knowing what's in my hand. If I know that there's no land up top and I have a land in hand and a fetch land in hand, then I don't want to shuffle my land up top away if I can get it. Like, you get so much more game knowledge knowing what's on the top of your library.
Yeah, and if you know that there's a land coming and you don't want a land, you know then, do I have a shuffle effect to help that?
Exactly. Like, just such a... The more you play with top deck knowledge, the more you understand how strong it is. And it's something that I truly, truly value, especially I'm going to put this in 5-color decks. It's just a good card to know. And a lot of the time I am fetching for colors. So knowing if I'm getting one of those colors can potentially save me a turn of missing out on another one. I love this card. It's super good. I also like the next one too. I think it's a pretty cool instant spell for 3.
The Blood Culling?
Yeah.
Or Bloodline Culling. 1 black for an instant. Choose one. Target creature gets -5/-5 to end of turn. Pretty good. Or creature tokens get -2/-2 to end of turn.
I think it's a solid answer to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it kills with all those decayed, or pretty much any average token.
Yeah, I think it's really good. Deals with my Field of the Dead triggers a lot.
Yeah. I like the fact that it's either 1 creature or all tokens.
I like the next one too. It's not horrible. It's another human, 2 and a green for 2/3 human scout with vigilance. Again, pretty good stats. It's Briarbridge Tracker. When it enters, investigate, and I love the investigate mechanic. I cannot stress enough how much I like that mechanic. It's create a colorless clue artifact with 2, sack it, draw a card, and as long as you control a token, it gets 2/0. I think that's pretty strong. It's potentially a 4/3 for 3 mana with vigilance. Great card.
Yeah, well, it is a 4/3 for 3, as long as you don't sack your clue.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it makes the token. The next one,
yeah.
I was unhappy that the backside was red, so I'm going to let you read it.
Oh, bless it. Brutal Cathar, 2 and a white, for a human soldier werewolf 2/2. See, I'm more upset that it's white on the front and not green.
That's fair. Exactly, right? You get it.
When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature and opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. It has Daybound. Then the other side is a 3/3 first strike ward, pay 3 life, and Nightbound.
Yeah, what a great card.
Yeah. 3 mana 3/3 with first strike on the back with ward 3, or a 3 mana 2/2 that exiles Sunny.
Either the back should have been green or the front should have been green. One of the two.
Yeah, it seems
Boros ain't.
red white seems an odd combination.
Yeah, Boros werewolves don't exist.
Yeah.
Grow up. Oh, this next one's an interesting one too. Burn down the house. 3 red red. Choose one that deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, or create 3 1/1 red devil creature tokens with when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. They gain haste on the turn.
I like that.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Though talking of devils, I was quite sad not to see Tybalt on his home plane.
Yeah, I was wondering what was up with that as well.
But I think he's gone somewhere else, isn't he?
Yeah, we're not killing it with how many we've done here, Lotus. We got to speed some of these up.
Okay, so Can't Stay Away is white-black sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would die, exile it instead with flashback 3 white-black.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, Champion of the Perished, amazing flavor. Like it's so good. Flavor wise with Champion of the Parish being a card, love it. It's a zombie for 1. Whenever another zombie enters under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. That's a great ability for a zombie deck. A great turn 1 card.
I didn't realize there was 3 different versions of the card as well.
Yeah, that's the other one's the buy a box.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I really like this next card too. I think it's so awesome.
I pulled this in my pre-release.
This is also, I think, supposed to be Rem, like someone making fun of Rem.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Croaking Counterpart, which is just a phenomenal card. 1 green, 1 blue. Create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's a 1/1 green frog with flashback. I am in love with this card.
I love the artwork so much.
It's gonna copy my Uzmagoy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear, yeah.
Right? Because it just becomes a 1/1, but then its power and toughness are equal to the ability printed on the card. So good.
Now we're coming into my favorite bit at the minute.
Yeah, the curses.
The curses. Curse of Leeches, 2 and a black for a aura, curse, enchant player. As this permanent transforms into Curse of Leeches, attach it to a player. You'll understand why in a minute. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life with Daybound. When it becomes night, it's a Leech Horror 4/4 called Leeching Lurker with lifelink. So once it goes back to Daybound, it turns back to the curse and you reattach it.
I like that you can flip it between opponents that way as well. And there's the commander, the new commander that was like specifically to set and collector boosters.
Yeah, Lind.
Yeah,
that
really
is the
cares.
commander I am 5 cards off finishing.
That card or that commander made me pretty happy though. It's made for curses. Do you have Lind up? I don't think it's in this list right here, but if you want to read it, it's also part of the set.
I don't have it up, but basically she is 1 Angrixis, blue, black, red, for a 3/3 human warlock, I think.
Yeah, I pulled her up here.
If a enchantment would leave the battlefield, return it to the battlefield enchanting yourself.
A curse, specifically curse, sadly.
A curse, and if at the beginning of your upkeep, you may move 1 curse from yourself to another player, and if you do, draw 2 cards.
What an awesome commander.
I will remember that all off my head.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll do a Brewing It live, or we'll do a little chat about that, but it involves multiple upkeeps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a really, really cool one. All the curses, I really like this one as well. There's everyone has a player in their group that gets hurt by this. Curse of Shaken Faith, 1 in a red. Enchant player, whenever they cast a spell other than their first spell they cast each turn or copies a spell. Curse of Shaken Faith deals 2 to them. Put that right on Calamax.
Oh god, yeah. That would screw me over so much.
Yeah. Copy all you want, you'll die.
Then you have Curse of Silence for a single white. Doesn't fit the deck, but it's another curse.
Mm-hmm.
As it enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name enchanted player casts cost them 2 more to cast. Whenever enchanted player casts a spell with the chosen name, you may sacrifice it. If you do, draw a card.
Really like that. It's generally, this is going to be played as a commander tax in normal style decks like limited.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would choose because that would be really really rough on them for that. But this is commander tax, and you get a draw card when they sack or play their commander. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think.
And then you've got
Yeah,
the
you can read the
curses.
next one. You like these curses.
Yeah, I love these curses. Curse of Surveillance with really weird and creepy art. 4 and a blue. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, any number of target players other than the player each draw cards equal to the number of curses attached to that player.
Awesome card.
So you just choose yourself.
Group hug curses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Danik is an interesting Azorius commander. It is 1 white, 1 blue for a 2/3 lifelink. Again, great stats. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities, which is also awesome. And then it has Disturb. You can cast it from a graveyard transformed for its Disturb cost. And then it becomes Danik Pious Apparition, which it's a 3/2 Spirit Soldier with flying. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into graveyards from anywhere, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn, and if Danik would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead.
This would make a really good commander that you don't mind dying and coming back as a disturbed creature.
Well, I think you want it to die specifically, and then you want to be able to get like I said, I just like investigating, so I'd make it like a Milzorius is what I would play.
Milzorius.
Yeah, Milzorius. Just be annoying. I really like this new cycle of lands, the Deserted Beach and stuff like that. This taps for a white or a blue. It enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So at worst, in an opening hand, it's a guild gate. At best, it is color fixing. Love it. I love how good it is. I love everything that comes in untapped. So
yeah. This next one I was talking with Ashen about. They weren't convinced, but I really like it. Dire Strain Rampage. 1 red-green for a sorcery with flashback for 3 red-green. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. Already very good.
Mm-hmm.
If a land was destroyed this way, its controller may search their library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Otherwise, they search for 1 land and put it onto the battlefield tapped.
I think it's great removal.
Yeah, it's great for an artifact, enchantment, or land, which is very rare to see on all 3 of them together. And yes, if you blow up a land, they get 2, but regardless, they're only ever going to get 1 extra land from what they currently have.
Well, this is a card you want to blow. It's like Field of the Dead or like Thespian Stage. Like it's a great answer for that. It has so much utility, but it also has self-utility. It's not for opponents. So you can just get rid of a land for yourself and go to 2 lands as well.
I mean, it says destroy target artifact. If you make a treasure token, blow it up, and go get a land.
Yep. Well, exactly. Anything like that. And I really like the utility of it. It also has flashback. So everyone knows any deck in green isn't going to struggle to make 5. So having that ability to answer, controversial statement, but there's not enough land destruction played. Right now, they keep making better and better lands, and not enough is being played right now. You can't let people's like Gaia's Cradle or like a transformed Itlamok or a Storm the Vaults kind of thing. You can't let those lands sit on the field. They will win the game.
Hence why I've started running Sinkhole in black.
Yep.
At least a Field of the Ruin at minimum.
Well, and so exactly, Field of the Ruin-esque effects and this Dire Strait Rampage the same. It doesn't feel as bad if you get your land as well back. It's okay, like they got mine, but like you're not so much screwing someone over now. But like if you get someone Soul Ring, like they turn 1 Soul Ring and you turn 1 blow it up, that feels bad. You've made an enemy for the game. But this way, they at least still get a land. You can kind of justify it and be like, come on, man, that's a Gaia's Cradle. You know what this is.
Have a forest.
Yeah, I think that this is just a great card. I think it's well balanced, and I think it has a place in every deck that runs the ability to do that. It's great utility.
Yeah, I love this card.
2 removal spells in one, potential ramp spell in one. Like, it's awesome. It's like a slow Harrow at worst, and Harrow has a lot of places in decks.
Yeah.
This next card, didn't like this card at all. Falconwrath Pitfighter, 1 for a Vampire
Yeah.
Warrior, 1 and a red, discard a card, sack a Vampire, draw 2 cards, activate only if an opponent lost life this turn. That's a lot of holes to, like, it's a lot of loops to jump through.
That feels like it. I hate to say this because I love white and I'm against people that say white's underpowered, but this
exactly,
feels like a white's version of card draw.
Even if it was like maybe sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards, I could understand. But like you have to have mana, you have to discard a card, you have to sack a vampire. Then you can only do it if someone lost. Like, what a not good card. I'll go out and say
for Vampire Tribal.
Yeah, well, it's not even a good vampire. Worst card of the set. Terrible card. That's my opinion. It's often wrong,
haste,
but
I'd be different.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to do anything. It's a 2/1 for 1. I guess that's okay.
The next card, though, I'm really excited by, especially for Standard. Fateful Absence, 1 and a white, instant. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller investigates. It's just clean removal.
Yeah, I like that one. This is
that's it.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I think Florian's an interesting one. Florian Voldarian Scion, 1 black, 1 red. For a Vampire Noble with first strike at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponent's lost this turn. Exile 1 of those cards and put the rest on the bottom in a random order. You may play the exiled card this turn. It reminds me a lot of Prosper. People love Prosper. It fits into Prosper great. I think it's an awesome card.
Yeah, this would go straight into my Prosper deck.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd make a vampire deck around it, but I think it's a pretty cool card just in general. This next card, very excited about this next card.
Go for it.
Galvanic Iteration. 1 blue, 1 red for an instant, any 2-mana instant. I immediately am happy because I can put it under an Isochron Scepter. Whenever you cast your next instant, or yeah, I know, yeah, let me be me. Whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy with flashback. What a great card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's going in every Izzet deck.
Yeah, it's just a great card. There was a lot of pretty good green red stuff in this set. I was actually pretty happy with it. Like the next one, Geist Flame Reservoir, 2 and a red artifact. 2 and a red for an artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on Geist Flame. Pay 1 and a red, remove any number of charge counters from Geist Flame. It deals that much to any target. Or pay 1 and a red, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Again, a great card for, like, a great one for Prosper.
Yeah. Again, I may be running that one too.
Right?
Then we've got Ghoulcaller's Harvest, black and a green for a sorcery, with flashback for 3 black green. Create X, 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed, where X is half of the number of creature cards in your graveyard rounded up.
Yeah, Zach would like that one.
Yeah, that's not bad, to be honest.
It's a pretty cool card. I got a few of those. I wish it was instant. That would be real good if it was an instant, but it's still pretty good as a sorcery. It's still pretty good.
Yeah. The next one I have to take.
Yep.
I built a commander deck, and I've been having so much fun with this. Gissa Glorious Resurrector, 2 black for a human wizard 4/4. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Already beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Gissa Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed. That is beautiful.
Awesome. It's an awesome one.
Because they don't lose their power and toughness. They've still got their massive creatures on your control.
It's sort of fair.
If you see, I was running this in a deck with Grave Pact.
I was going to say you needed a Grave Pact and
Dictate, Butcher of Malakir, and then it was a aristocrat zombie theme, but I was sacrificing their decayed creatures after I'd attacked with them.
I like that. So wait till the sacrifice trigger?
Yeah, wait for the sack trigger, or let them sacrifice themselves, and all my triggers go off. And because I have Dictate of Erebos, My creatures are dying, so they have to sack more.
Awesome. I that's awesome.
Decayed is such good in this deck.
Grafted Identity, 2 double blue as an additional cost to cast it. Sack a creature, enchant creature. You control enchant a creature, and it gets 1/1. I think that's pretty solid. And there's lots of
Yeah,
places for it.
4 mana, you control a creature. Pretty good.
I'll let you take this next weird one.
I pulled it and never played it last night. Graveyard Trespasser, 2 and a black for a human werewolf 3/3. Already not happy that it's a werewolf in black. Ward, discard a card. Whenever Graveyard Trespasser enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Has Daybound and Nightbound. On the Nightbound, it's a 4/4 werewolf with Ward, discard a card. And whenever it attacks, exile up to 2 cards from a graveyard for each creature card exiled this way. Each opponent loses a life and you gain a life.
Solid graveyard hate, but
I'm still sad it's in black.
yeah, it shouldn't be a werewolf, but good discard.
Yeah.
Next card should have been instant. Balance-wise, absolutely should have been instant. At sorcery, this is not very good. Hallowed Respite, it's 1 white, 1 blue. Exile target non-legendary creature, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. Otherwise, tap it with flashback. I think this would have been a great blue-white instant.
Yeah, and this was my promo.
Like I said, at instant speed, amazing card. It would have really done a lot, but non-legendary creature at sorcery speed to maybe seems weak.
It should. If it was exiled target creature at sorcery,
I could get that. Yep.
Another one of the lands, red-black land, Haunted Ridge.
Yeah.
The alternate art is beautiful.
Ooh, you take this next one, then I'll talk about the one after that.
Okay. Jadar, Ghoul Caller of Nephalia. It's a human wizard 1/1. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. It's just solid.
Yep. I think it's a wicked ability.
And I'll let you do the next one, which I also had in my pre-release with the Angel, and together they were a nightmare to deal with.
There you go. This is the card I was the most excited for, even more than Uzmagoyf. It's Catilda Dawnheart Prime. This is such a cool card. It is 1 green and 1 white for a human warlock that is 1/1. It has protection from werewolves. I don't really see that being super relevant in Commander. Maybe it is. But human creatures you control have tap to add 1 mana of any of this creature's colors. That is amazing. So you have human tribal in like the hardest ramp you've ever seen because all of your creatures become Llanowar Elves. I started building this deck the moment it was spoiled. It's something I'm so excited to play. And then it has the ability for 4 and Selesnya tap, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So you have counters matter. You have like massive mana ramp, and it's at 2 mana. This is just such a good card.
I think the protection from werewolves might be a little more relevant than you think because shapeshifters are quite big at the moment.
I guess that's true. Anything changeling is. But still, regardless, I'm just very excited about this card. I have... so I like it so much that I've already built one deck around it, and now I'm building a second... I like to Primal Surge. What can I say? So I'm building a Primal Surge humans deck.
I'm tempted to build it myself because I actually, as I say, pulled it in my pre-release, and having human mana dorks to activate that ability is insane.
Oh yeah, well, and that's just it. There's so many good. Human tribal has been like something that's very good for a while, but this is just I think the commander for it. Basically, looking at it, I haven't played my deck yet. Just put it together. That being said, I think I'm going to have nothing to do with my mana. I think I'm going to have too much mana. Which is why I need that white adversary so I can have all of the Valor counters in the world on it.
Seems fair.
Yeah, it's such a good one. I'm excited to find out. Yeah, can't say enough. The altar art looks amazing. I don't really understand the lore of this one yet. I still have to read up on the rest of that. So Lyessa?
Lysa.
Lysa? Forgotten Archangel. She should be dead, first off. Avacyn killed her. But it's 2 white, white, black for an angel, 4/5 flying lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Awesome. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile instead. Again, awesome.
Yeah, it's just a good card.
Yeah. I'll let you take this next one here.
So this is Chandra. Not that we got a Planeswalker of Chandra. Light Up the Night, X and red for a sorcery. It deals X damage to any target. It deals X +1 damage instead if the target is a creature or Planeswalker. And it flashbacks for 3 and a red. Remove X loyalty counters from among Planeswalkers you control. If you would cast this spell this way, X can't be 0. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's a weird flashback cost. I don't like that.
Yeah. So you have to remove loyalty from your Planeswalkers to pay X.
I'll let you take this. I'll let you take the next
sure
one.
I like that.
This would be something I can see Zach building for sure.
Ludovic, the Necro Genius. Blue and black for a human wizard 2/3. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, mill a card. And then X blue, blue, black, black, exile X target creature cards from your graveyard, transform Ludovic. X can't be 0, activate only as a sorcery. And then on the back is Olag, Ludovic's Hubris. It's a 4/4 zombie. As this creature transforms into Olag, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it, except its name is Olag. It's a 4/4 and it's a legendary blue and black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Put a number of +1 counters on Olag equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. That's a mouthful.
As this transforms, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it. So if you remove, like, let's say that you kill my Olag, are the ones I previously exiled not counted in this?
No.
So this would be a new instant, right?
Yeah.
I think that kind of hurts it a little bit, but
if it exiled it with a certain type of counter and said creatures
yeah, like
with
Halden
this
and
counter,
Paco with the fetch counters or cards
Yeah.
exiled by become except as you transform. As this transforms into Olag, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it. So yeah, it is its own thing. That makes it a little weaker, but still a very interesting card.
It'd be an interesting commander.
I like the next one a lot too. I think it's a really cool disruption card. It's 1 and a blue for a human wizard that's 2/1 with 1 blue. Sack it, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 3. Then it has Disturb for 3, and I love the Disturb mechanic. Becomes a spirit wizard with flying. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered. If it be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. I think that's just a great control piece.
Yeah. And the front side reminds me of Tim from The Search for the Holy Grail, Monty Python.
Yep.
It's great.
I'll let you take this next one here.
Mask of Gristlebrand, 1 black black for an legendary artifact equipment. The equipped creature has flying and lifelink. Whenever equipped creature dies, you may pay X life, where X is its power. If you do, draw X cards.
Okay.
Kind of reminiscent of Gristlebrand.
Yep. I think it's okay. I think it's not too bad. It's an interesting artifact for sure.
Yeah.
This is another one that's kind of interesting. I really like the artwork on it though. Memory Deluge. It's 2 blue and 2 colorless. Instant, look at the top X cards of your library where X is the amount of mana spent to cast it. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order, and then it has flashback. So basically like a Scry 7 draw 2.
Yeah.
I actually like it. I also think this is the funniest name for a commander.
What? Salad fingers?
Yeah, old stick fingers. Oh, look out, here comes old stick fingers. X, 1 black, 1 green, a legendary creature horror. When you cast this spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, then put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Old stick fingers' power and toughness are equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. I think that is such a cool card. It fills your graveyard. I know that this is like the spirit of Zach's building playstyle.
Yeah.
And it's just such a weird looking card.
I'd love to build this in some kind of dredge deck.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea. That would be very fun. I'm just excited to be like, ah, here's old stick fingers. Old stick fingers for lethal. The sketch version of
Oh,
it's so weird.
yeah, I like it, but I'm not sure which version I like better in this
Oh,
instance.
I like normal old stick fingers. That's just such a creepy, weird artwork. I have to
Yeah.
build it just for its name. How can I not play old stick fingers? We have overgrown farmland, which is the Selesnya Checkland.
Yeah,
We
we
have
have Patrician Geist, 2 and a blue, Spirit Knight, 2/2 with flying. Other spirits get +1/+1. And spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast.
great card
Can be a very good card, especially in flashback decks.
in the flashback deck in Muldrotha. Python Needle was a weird card to have show up in this set. I don't know what that was about.
I mean, it turns off your planeswalkers and things, I suppose.
I don't know. We have Reckless Stormseeker, a human werewolf for 3. It's a 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets 1/1 and gains haste until end of turn. And if it's nightbound, it gets 2/0 trample until end of turn.
I love the old art of that.
Now I have to talk about my boy, Rem Carolus, Stalwart Slayer. Rem, Slayer of Angels, Slayer of Eldrazi, Slayer of Zombies. Rem is awesome. It's just such a cool card. Look at this thing he's riding. I absolutely love it on his Griff. It's amazing. It is 1 and Boros for a human knight 2/3 with flying haste. If a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal
Nice.
damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. I love this card. This is board wipe tribal, and I love it.
Wow, so it is just, yeah, you put, it's kind of like Tajik, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just board wipe the field. This is obviously like Torolf goes in a deck like this, and so does like Blasphemous Act, Star of Extinction, all of that stuff. Like Rem brings down the thunder on people, and I'm so excited. There's a Rem deck tech coming up. I'm building Rem. It's so. Ever since I saw the artwork of this, I was like, ah, this is dope. And then after that, I like learned more of like Rem's lore, and yeah, Rem is a crazy person.
Yeah. Then we have Rite of Harmony, green and a white for an instant.
Um,
Whenever a creature or enchantment enters the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card.
ama-
Flashback for 2, green, white.
amazing card.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's a really really good card. We have Gruul Checkland, 1 green for green or red. Sereth was a really interesting card for a lot of decks. Sereth the Viper's Fang, 2 green. Human Warlock 3/4. Other creatures you or other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof, and then 1 and a tap untapped target creature or land you control.
Yeah, this just goes really well with Thing the Fangbearer.
Yep. Well, it's just a very good card. The paying 1 to untap a land you control or a creature is really really good utility. So it goes really well in any deck that's running like Gaia's Cradle like effects.
Oh god, yeah.
Right? If you're doing like a deck that runs Bazaar of Baghdad, 1 to untap to Bazaar of Baghdad is a very, very strong. 1 to untap a good land is a very strong ability. Then giving all of your creatures hexproof if they're untapped or death touch if they're tapped. I think that this is a card that has a lot of potential in a lot of decks.
Yeah, even as a mono green, I'm just going to attack you with a Death Touch army.
Yeah, exactly. The Let's Go deck. We have Shipwreck Marsh as well. I can't. What's
Demir.
Demir? Thank you, Lotus. The Demir Checkland. Sigarda's Splendor is a card I was really, really excited for. It's 2 white enchantment. As it enters, note your life total. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if your life total is greater than or equal to the last noted life total. Then note your life total. Whenever you cast a white spell, you gain a life. So it's card draw, it's enchantment, and it's life gain, and it's life gain on casting white. It's a phenomenal card for life gain decks like things like Linden, which I've been having so much fun playing Linden. I don't know why Linden's so strong, but it just slaps the table every time. My little mono white life gain deck, I love it. But yeah, like I just think it's a great card. I think it's good for a lot of your pillow fort style where you're already spamming enchantments. Anyways, I love this card.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't get enough of it.
We then have Siphon Insight, blue and a black for an instant. Flashback for 1 blue black. Look at the top two cards of target opponent's library. Exile one of them face down and put the other on the bottom of that library. You may look at and play the exile card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it was any color of mana to cast the spell.
Awesome card, especially for competitive.
I mean, yeah, someone goes and put like tutors for something, puts it on top, and you're like, yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah, let's see what's up there.
Yeah, and if it's really decent, I'm gonna cast it, or I'm gonna put it on the bottom.
Great instant, and its flashback also great. Love this card. The next one I really like as well. Slaughter Specialist, 1 in a black for a 3/3 vampire warrior. When it enters, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1 on a counter on it. This really goes well on the Kelsey and the Plague deck.
Yeah.
Anything that makes creatures that I can kill of my opponents, love it. I'll let you read this next one, but I love the name so much.
Slogurk. The Overslime. 1 blue-green for a legendary ooze, 3/3. I really want to build this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Trample. Whenever a land card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on Slogurk the Overslime. Remove 3 +1/+1 counters from it, return it to its owner's hand. When it leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. We're in blue, we can bounce it, we can return our lands to our hand and replay our strip mines. Not that I'm saying land destruction is me.
No, that's what it should be. Strip mine, Field of Dead.
Strip mine.
All of your fetch lands. Like, this is a really cool commander.
This is amazing, this commander. I so want to build it.
This set actually made me pull... I had a Mimeoplasm deck for a long time. This is like where my head's at. But seeing more and more of these spoilers, I was like, I'm going to make Ooze Tribal with Mimeoplasm. So now I have like a Mill Mimeoplasm and an Ooze one. And that's where like all these cards are going, is like all these weird oozes. Like the next one's also going in the deck because it's hilarious. But I just really, really like the flavor of these oozes in the set. I love oozes in general. And I think that this also makes a really, really fun commander.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to building this, and I have to get the alternate art.
The next one I was talking about, this annoying thing, it's a Sludge Monster. 3 blue for a 5/5, good stats. When it enters or attacks, put a slime counter on up to 1 other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power, toughness 2/2. This is like the funniest card I've seen in so long, and I'm in love with it.
I like how Wizards have worded it to know that, yeah, we're going to bounce this.
Yeah.
They know we're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Sludge Monster, everything becomes a 2/2 generic.
Oh, bless them.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. Non-horror creature. And it doesn't happen with, I guess if Sludge Monster leaves, do they get their things back?
Non-horror creatures with slime counters. No, it's only when Sludge Monster's in play.
Yeah.
They lose their abilities, but the slime counter will remain.
Yeah, so the slime counter doesn't actually... So even if they kill it, they still have slimy creatures.
They have slimy creatures. They won't have the 2/2 and lose abilities, but they'll still be slimed.
Yeah, I just love the card so much. I love it. It's hilarious. Tracking it isn't... One second. The flavor text, tracking it isn't the hard part. Hilarious.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Lotus.
So this one, my other half, Richard, he loves this card. Smoldering Egg. 1 and a red for a dragon egg, 0/4 with defender. Already good. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a number of ember counters on Smoldering Egg equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Then, if Smoldering Egg has 7 or more ember counters on it, remove them and transform it. It becomes a flying 4/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Ashmouth Dragon deals 2 damage to any target.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I really like the next one. These are the effects I like the most. 3 triple green, Storm the Festival. It's a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can put up to 2 permanents with CMC 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order, and then it has flashback for 10. I love a card like this.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Absolutely love it. It gets you lands. It gets you creatures. I just... in love with it. Also,
we have...
I want to talk this one too, because I love the Coven mechanic. Sun Gold Sentinel, it's 1 and a white for a 3/2 human soldier. Again, great stats on it. Whenever it enters or attacks, exile up to 1 card from a graveyard. That is also a great card. Then its Coven mechanic is 1 and a white, choose a color. Sun Gold Sentinel gains hexproof from that color until end of turn and can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. Activate only if you control 3 different powers. I just love that card.
Yeah, I like that too. The next one annoys me, again for the same reasons before. A blue-green werewolf. A suspicious stowaway. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 that can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. Daybound. Then the Nightbound is Seafaring Werewolf, can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, just draw a card. And it's a 2/1.
It's not too bad.
But why is it blue-green, not red-green?
I do love this card, the artwork of it. The next one.
Oh, this Celestius.
Yeah, the Celestis. 3 mana for a legendary artifact. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. It has tap to add 1 mana of any color, which is a good color fixing. Pay 3.
Yeah.
If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Activate it only as a sorcery, so you can change night to day. And then whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain a life. You may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. I just really like this card in general.
Yeah, this card is really good. So if your opponent, for example, wants to screw you over in Commander and it's like, I'm going to play 2 spells and transform all your nightbound werewolves to daybound, you're like, yeah, I'm back to night.
Yeah, and it's night once more.
Oh, the next one I need to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tovalar, the Dire Overlord, 1 red-green for a human werewolf 3/3. The werewolf commander of the future.
Absolutely.
Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Fantastic. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night. Then transform any number of human werewolves you control. That is fantastic.
Yeah, because that's not just the night mechanic. That lets you actually transform the old werewolves.
Yeah, so when it becomes night, you transform daybound to nightbound, and then it's got a full stop, and then transform any number of human werewolves you control, which is the old lot. So you transform all of them.
So this is the werewolf commander if you're building werewolves.
Oh god, yeah.
It's what werewolf players have been waiting for.
It is. On the back you have Tovalar the Midnight Scourge. It's a 4/4. Again, when a wolf or werewolf you control does combat damage to a player, draw a card. But it also has X, red, green. Target wolf or werewolf you control gets +X/+O and gains trample till end of turn.
That's awesome.
It's a fantastic card. I love this, and I'm building it as we speak.
I really like that. I like the next one as well, the Tovalar's Huntmaster, 4 green for a 6/6 human werewolf. When it enters, create 2/2/2 green wolf tokens. That's daybound, and as nightbound, when it enters or attacks, create 2/2/2 green wolf tokens. And then for 4, another target wolf or werewolf you control fights target creature you don't control.
It's a good card.
Love it.
And then we have Tristadecaphile. Because we had Tristadecaphobia last time, we now have the Tristadecaphile. 1 and a blue for a human wizard 1/3. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game. And for 3 and a blue, draw a card.
I think that's an awesome mechanic, awesome alternate win con.
Yeah, I love this. I'm going to have to try and build something with this and Tristadecaphile, with Tristadecaphobia.
Yeah, a 13 Matters deck.
Yeah.
You have to play Emrakul then?
Emrakul, Tria Perdition.
You get it. Unnatural Growth. You have 1 double green, so 5 total. Enchantment. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until the end of the turn. So first off, wow.
It's broken.
Yep. First off, wow. Second off, anything that does extra combats, like Morog, the beginning of each combat, you double them. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, like, Morog, like, doubles to a 12 and then swings and gets his next combat and doubles to, gets 1 when it attacks, so then it becomes it would become a 13, then it would double to a 26. It's a crazy card for any extra combat steps, and it also triggers on opponents. It's just a really good card.
Yeah,
it's the just try it card. Try attacking.
just try it.
Yeah.
I need to get myself one of these so bad for the werewolf deck.
This is the next one as well as a card that I was actually really, really excited when I saw. I really like this commander. I think it's got really good potential to be a budget commander. It's Vadric Astral Archmage. 1 blue, 1 red. Legendary creature, human wizard. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as he enters. Instants and sorcery spells cost X less to cast, where X is his power. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, put a 1/1 counter on Vadric. I really like that.
Yeah, that'd be a nice. Was it Misrix, the goblin with the experience? It's kind of like a nicer, lower power version of that, or similar.
I do have to also take the next one because I love Odric. Odric is just such a sad character. Vanquish
Is he still alive?
Yep.
Okay.
Vanquish the Horde, 6 and white, which is, by the way, just such a great card. This spell costs 1 less for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. So you have a potential 2 mana destroy all creatures. And then the flavor text is just such a win. It's first off, it's Odric standing on a pile of bodies. And it's pretty awesome artwork. But it's Odric took no joy in violence, but neither did he mourn for the twisted things he dispatched. All that mattered were their lives he had saved.
That's pretty good.
That's a heavy card. Yeah, please. You take the last one, the next two, sorry.
The next one, Wake to Slaughter, I had it played against me, and it's so powerful. 3 black-red for a sorcerer with flashback 4 black-red. Choose up to 2 target creature cards in your graveyard. An opponent chooses one of them. Return that card to your hand. Return the other to the battlefield under your control. It gains haste, and exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So good.
And with flashback. What an awesome card.
Yeah.
This was the one I was talking about for Muldrotha, and also for that Slogurk deck, now that I'm thinking about it.
The Willow Geist for a single green, 1/1 with trample. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, gain life equal to its power.
Great card.
Yeah, very good card.
Now, there is one last thing I need to talk about, and I just need to find it. It's Moonsilver Key. This might be one of the best uncommons printed in a while. It's a 2 mana artifact, and then it has 1 tap it, sack Moonsilver Key. Search your library for an artifact card with a mana ability or a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. This is just a phenomenal card. It's also like a good competitive thing to like fetch like a Grim Monolith or something like that you need to go infinite with like a Zerda deck or a Kinnan deck or something.
Yeah.
But I just like its utility overall and stuff. The ability to mana fix in colorless is always good in Commander for, like, it's a great budget piece, but the fact that it can go fetch you like your Gilded Lotus, your, you know, any of those things.
I'd like to go one better with you. This is my favorite uncommon for Commander. Mystic Skull.
Okay.
It's 2 mana for an artifact. It has pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Pay 5, tap, and transform it. On the back side, it's a 5/6 construct that says lands you control have add 1 mana of any color.
Is that in this set?
Yep.
What is it? It's
Mystic
a common?
Skull. Uncommon. Mystic Skull.
I'm not even seeing that. Oh, Mystic Skull right there. Add 1 mana of any color, or for 5, transform it. Lands. That's a great card. That's another really good one. I hadn't read the back of it. I played a bunch of those.
That card is amazing. It's an amazing card for multicolor decks.
Yeah, so it'll let you filter your mana, which is good if you need it, and then it gives you your. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great card.
Well,
I don't think there's much else in the set that's like noteworthy. That's like completely noteworthy.
There's lots of really, really good ones. There's I can't remember the zombie name, but it lets you tap a creature you control to do 1 damage to an opponent, or they lose a life or something.
Oh, you got Defenestrate.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not a great card. What is
like
it?
that card.
You like Defenestrate?
I like it. I think it's more for the flavor than the actual what it does.
To be honest, by the way, I'm all into like these from the plane perspective, these human heretics that are like worshiping the new gods.
Yeah.
I really, really like all their artwork. I like all their effects. I think they're really, really cool cards.
Oh, I've just seen a. Okay. Do you remember the old classic painting of the farmer and his wife holding the pitchfork?
Yep.
Go to Rotten Reunion. It's a common.
Let me scroll down here. Sorry for anyone listening to me power scroll. By the way, the blacked out lands, amazing.
Oh god, yeah, they look so good in
Oh, that's
actual
awesome.
in hand.
Yeah. Exile up to one target creature from a graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie with Decayed. That's a great card already. But yeah, the artwork is a pretty good flavor win.
It's just flavor win. Aunt and Uncle Greyfield love dinner guests.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of good stuff in this set. The commons and uncommon section has a lot of like really, really good power in it.
Yeah. If you're doing a pre-release or a draft, don't overlook Stuffed Bear. Stuffed Bear is amazing and will surprise any of your opponents.
Stuffed
Paying
Bear comes
2
out of
mana to
nowhere.
turn. Yeah, it's a 2 mana 4/4 that turns back to an artifact. It's amazing.
There's just a lot of like good cards in the set. I'm just very excited to, like I said, to turn like these like terrible cards like this Gavinry Trap or the 0/2 for 1, turn it into like a little Llanowar for white. I love it. There's so many good low cost humans that I'm gonna be able to ramp so hard. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I
And
might
the
go for the
alternate art on werewolves.
knowing Catilda's like technically like a heretic in the story because like she's worshiping different gods. I think I might go for the Helix Pinnacle win.
Yeah.
You know, it seems.
I mean, it wouldn't be too hard.
Not at all.
Is it you pay X mana as soon as you have 100 counters in your upkeep, you win the game?
Yeah,
So
and they're all dancing around it. Love it.
that's actually quite flavorful.
Yeah, I think that's the maybe in the Primal Surge Catilda deck.
Maybe.
But yes, anyways, that is our episode. We went a little long, but that's okay. Let us know what you are excited. Obviously, we're gonna have a bunch of new builds coming soon with these commanders. I know Zach's excited for a bunch. I know Lotus is very, very excited for the Curses one. Obviously, I don't shut up about what I'm excited for, so everyone knows. I can't wait to show you guys this Rem, Slayer of Angels, Slayer of Eldrazi, Slayer of Enemies. Oh man, I love Rem. I'm building Rem today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lotus, you can let them know where they can find our stuff.
Yeah, so you can find all of our stuff at the one-stop shop at intothe99.com, where you can get the link to our Discord to join our community and chat and brew with us. You can also get the links to our YouTube channel to see Brewing It Live and other videos that we've done and gameplay. If you'd like to support us, you can go to our Patreon page and you can go to our merch store if you'd like to get in on some of the great t-shirts.
Yeah, there's some good new ones coming up soon.
I'm excited to see them.
Thank you so much for listening and have a great week.
Take care, everyone, and enjoy pre-release.